Rise and shine! It's Magic time! In this special home edition of the Magic the Gathering Developer Update, we'll be covering all the exciting things coming in our April 2020 game update, give a fresh coat of paint to the developer roadmap, and highlight all the ways you can support your local game store from the safety of your home. If you think you know everything there is to know about Ikoria and Magic the Gathering Arena, think again. As with all of our recent card sets, we're also going to take this opportunity to give a new look-sees at our developer roadmap because, believe it or not, it's only April and there's still a lot of 2020 left.
Ikoria is the layer of behemoths, and it was certainly a behemoth-sized set. Definitely the most complex set we've had to implement on Arena. Between Mutate and Companion and the keyword counters, and just the general craziness of the cards, there was a lot of work from across the entire team. For example, the team that owns the deck builder had a lot of work to do with Companion. We've added filters so that the restrictions for each Companion can be automatically applied to your card pool so that you're only seeing the cards that actually match with them. And if there are any cards in your deck that don't match with your Companion, there's a clear highlight on them. Overall, it just makes it really easy for you to follow along and understand how you need to build your deck to work with your Companion. Over on the rules and gameplay side, there was a lot of work that went into the set, but most particularly around Mutate. There were a lot of iterations on there to make sure that the way that we presented it to players was clear and informative. You could get all the information that you needed to make those critical battlefield decisions. We've got nice little callouts for how many times a creature is mutated. In the right-click inspect view, you can see all the cards that are involved in the mutation. And of course, we've added a lot of visual flair across the entire experience. Over on the art and UI side, there was a lot of work to do with the keyword counters. We've reworked the power and toughness in those keyword icons. We've moved the power and toughness to the lower right, just like it is on printed cards. And that gives us more space on the left for keyword icons, which are now smaller and slimmed down so that we can fit more information. And this is really going to be useful in Ikoria, because once those keyword counters and the different mutations start stacking up as you build your bigger beast, it's very helpful to be able to track how the creatures are actually performing on the battlefield. We've also overhauled the way that we're showing the advanced filters. You can now choose a format that will filter the card pool by. We've moved the various options into collapsible sections so that we can present more information more cleanly. So that's let us add some things like a way to filter by how many copies of a card that you've collected. It also makes a lot of valuable room that we'll need for all the new historic content that we're going to be releasing in the latter half of this year.
We're just a few short days from our upcoming release, so at this point, cards have been previewed, mechanics have been covered, and yes, you will be able to get those Godzilla series monster cards to add to your collection Magic the Gathering Arena. There is this itty-bitty thing we haven't talked about yet, and let's be real, it's Ikoria, so go big. I'm going to hand this over to Jay Parker, who's going to be giving you your first look at drafting in Ikoria against your fellow human beings.
With the Ikoria build, we are bringing full 8-player drafting to Arena. This is something that we know players have wanted for a long time, we've wanted for a long time, and it's finally here. You'll be able to join up into a draft, watch your table fill with 7 other players, ready up, and dive into the drafting. When you get in, you'll notice that we've made a couple of UI changes. First off, there are pick timers to make sure that the packs keep moving well among the players. And we've also added a couple of UI elements so that you can track how and where those packs are moving around the table. When you're done with the draft portion, you'll go into a normal draft event, but you'll only be drafting against other players who also drafted against other players. There won't be any mixing between the player and the bot queues. We are launching both best of 1 and best of 3 player drafts, and both of those will launch on 4/16 right when the set drops, so you can dive right in. We'll also be keeping bot drafts around for the players that prefer not having pick timers or like the ability to pause and resume the draft, and those will start at their normal time. To make sure that everybody has a chance to check out how fun these drafts are, and to give everyone a chance to draft for Friday Night Magic, as long as you log in the first 2 weeks of Ikoria, your first draft is on us. Whenever you do go into that draft, you're going to have a really amazing set to draft with Ikoria.
As for what's coming soon, we literally just covered most of it, so I'm going to keep this short. Ikoria Lair Behemoths will be arriving on Magic the Gathering Arena on April 16th. This will include both the card set, some UX and UI improvements to support the craziness that is Ikoria, and, oh yeah, player drafting. We're also going to be continuing our support of Friday Night Magic at home throughout the month of April and into May, so again, be sure to check out the article below for more information on how you can continue to support your local game store from the safety of your home. Back over to Jay Parker, who will be covering all the things that are currently in development, as well as the things that we're beginning to concept, so you can get a better idea of all the things we have planned for the months ahead.
Since it's always one of the first questions we get, macOS is a great place to start. We are currently working on the 64-bit version of the game, which will also help us deliver the Mac version, which we're currently also working on. This is coming out a little bit later than we had hoped, but we're partnered with Skybox Labs to help make sure that we can get this delivered, and we're targeting a delivery somewhere around summer of this year. We've also got a lot of historic content coming up, starting off with Historic Anthology 3. There we're working with R&D and our card set team to narrow down the card list that we're looking at and make sure that we've got the right pieces in the right places. Releasing a little bit later will be Amonkhet Remastered, which will bring cards from Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation back to Arena. We're also working there with R&D to help make sure that we're building these sets to be great to collect, great to draft, and great to play. Speaking of draft, we're also working on Cube Draft. We know this is something that players have been wanting for a while, but we needed to get player drafting out first because a cube really works better drafted in that format. We're going to be learning a lot from the cube sealed that we ran. Obviously, the cubes will want to be a little bit different between sealed and draft. They want different things in the format, but there's a lot that we can learn there. And like the cube sealed, Cube Draft will be a phantom format with a cube built out of the historic card pool on Arena. Turning to the in-concept section, the obvious big one there is mobile. This is further out, there's a lot of work to do to get Arena onto a phone, but it's shaping up nicely. And the prospect is really exciting, being able to play on your computer, play on your phone, on the go, whenever, wherever, however you want, with all the cards and decks that you've collected on Arena. We're looking towards the end of the year for a hopeful wide release, and we'll have more information on late fall around that. Developing very quickly is our player challenges. This is an umbrella term for bringing more ways for players to compete on Arena. We already have the Mythic route and the esports qualifiers for that path to pro, but we also want to bring a route for all players to be able to jump right into the competition without needing to qualify or climb their way up the ladder. So keep a lookout in the State of the Game article for more details on that. And now I'll turn it back to Megan for some final words.
As always, keep an eye on our status page for the latest information and updates regarding maintenance times. Be sure to turn into our early access event on April 15th, where you can show your support and appreciation for some of your favorite content creators as they get their hands on Ikoria Lair Behemoths for the very first time. To all of our players, we hope you're staying safe, staying healthy, and of course, staying at least 6 feet or 2 meters apart from one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in game.